Welcome to TMC classes. We discuss today common cold and cough in cancer patient. It seems benign, but it is not. Please pay attention. It is your PG question also and practice guideline also. What we are concerned today, that is these patients are immunocompromised patient. Why? They have got on chemotherapy, which reduces absolute neutrophil count, radiation further kills the cells, and immunosuppressive agent such as steroids, methotrexate, they all act to reduce the immunity. Second point which I want to make is the community acquired viruses, they have got high mortality and morbidity in this case of population. So we have to be careful on the common virus and identify and treat adequately. Serious infection, grade 3 infection is common in as high as 32% of the cases. But in our setup, resource poor setting, the serious infection are far higher. Next important is that these patients tends to shed the virus for more than 2 weeks. While in other immunocompromised patients, they share hardly 3 to 7 days. So these patients are himself infected and remain the source of infection in the community for longer period of time. So that is why identification and treatment has got the individual care and the public health also. The common viruses is influenza virus A and B, respiratory virus, parainfluenza virus, particularly in lymphoma group, rhinovirus, coronavirus, this is new addition, and it is not that it has been eradicated. There are the pockets where the coronavirus is there. So these all viruses can be identified by antigen based test and mostly can be treated as the drugs are available against them. Other viruses, metapneumovirus virus, adenovirus group, Boca virus, particularly in the solid tumors and other group of patient on the stem cell transplant, Enterovirus, particularly on the stem cell transplant group of patient, poor immunity patient, and CMV infection. This is a dangerous illness with very high mortality. So that is why these common viral illnesses we need to have in mind so that focused investigation and treatment can be offered. Pathophysiology, it is very simple. Chemotherapy induced neutropenia, it causes low white cells and makes us susceptible to infection. T cell dysfunction it can be both due to chemotherapy as well as radiotherapy. Physical stress, these patients are emotionally and physically too challenged and they have got very poor immunity. Poor immunity can be due to nutrition also. So there are multiple factors. And last but not the least, they catch infection mostly during active chemotherapy due to the low neutrophil counts and other complications. Clinical features, we have to identify these two groups of patient because it is in one group the complication rate is very low. There is self-limited illness. In other group, deep respiratory infection, lower respiratory infection, they have got very high complication rate, requires aggressive management. So what are the important aspect? When the patient is anytime dyspneic, he has got the breathless, out of breath, he has got the productive cough, change of phlegm, different color. These are the patients who require admission, monitoring, directed care far higher than the upper group of the patient. So we have to be careful on this. What is the diagnostic approach? We have got the multiplex PCR panel. These are available at the many of the cancer center, but not the all cancer center across the board. So what is the problem? If you have to identify the virus based on the epidemiological features, where it belongs to, where are the illnesses. Second is the syndromic approach. You have to understand which are the virus, which are the organs involved, which are the likely virus, and then after you can ask for the PCR. Rapid diagnostic group, influenza, RSV and COVID-19 antigen based tests are readily available. and they can be given in short notice, and adequate definitive treatment can be offered in no time. Chest X-ray, it is mostly accessible to all, but the problem is missing the small lesion, the particulating lesions are best picked on CT. So it is important. These patients are immunocompromised. They have got more chances of infection, and that is why CT should be considered. No shying away from the CT. And what it is important, the early testing, start of the infection, that is the when though the tests are sometimes not positive, if they are followed up, they give the far yielding result than later on tests. Infection control measure, the best one is the hand hygiene, stringently be practiced, contact isolation, and contact isolation with extended period, and then the face mask during the patient care and after the patient leaves the room. These are the important aspect. Prolonged isolation for more than 2 weeks, and that is why these patients needs to be followed up for longer period of time, and that is why better hospital care is required for this group of patient. Antiviral therapy for the influenza group, Oseltamivir, it is available, it is across the board, even it is generously now. Ribavarin, this is for the respiratory syncytial virus, very simple, easy to administer, orally available, and then after immunoglobulin in the very severe cases based on the specific clinical indication, unable to sustain maintain the oxygenation. Parainfluenza group and influenza A group, Ribavarin is again the drug of choice. It can be given, but the adequate safe efficacy data in severe cases are far less. In adeno group, Cidofovir is available, and mostly oral drug. It can be given with the ease and with good cure. Treatment support is very important. When these patients, sick patients, oxygen is low, we have to put on the ICU support and lower respiratory tract infection care. We have to give them supplementary oxygen. Prophylactic antibiotics, when the absolute neutrophil count is too low, along with the GCSF support. Not that the neutropenic patient you give antibiotic and you forget, because GCSF support will, the granulocyte support will only bring up the ANC. Monitor secondary bacterial infections are far common, immunocompromised, and that is why so many advocacies are there to give the antibiotic concurrently. Chemotherapy should be delayed. All the patients who have got the respiratory illnesses not well, the chemotherapy should not be offered, otherwise it may be fatal. Other serious complication, that is the pneumonia can be there, ARDS can be there, and severe bacterial infection and sepsis can be there. So what is the impact? The impact is the chemotherapy has to be delayed. You can't give the chemotherapy in a sick patient. Increased hospitalization, because these people tend to shed virus for longer period of time, and there is the increased mortality and malignancy awakening. What is that? There are a few group of drugs, they try to interfere with the nucleic pathway. Second group of viruses are identified, they tend to amplify the malignancy. So these are under basically research, but if you understand the viral infection occurring with the standard cancer care, we have to be more vigilant and more follow up. The prevention strategy, very simple. Most of the thing, everything you have to start, that is the the para-influenza and COVID before start of the chemotherapy. In government setup, we note that the even patient has not taken the COVID virus, COVID vaccine, we tend to vaccinate before the chemotherapy start. Avoid exposure. With the sick patient, these patients should not be allowed to mix, and if there is mixing, contact tracing and adequate care is must. Hygiene education, hand hygiene, respiratory etiquettes, particularly limited use of fomite used by these patients. These are one which really give good result. These patients require early detection and aggressive management. It is not that the small illnesses, because these patients are too sick, and that is why they require a better care. So what is the early action? Infection control is before the diagnosis is confirmed. You have to give the separate and isolate and barrier nursing care. These all are important. Extended shedding, these are the patients who tend to shed virus for longer period of time, and that is why the follow-up testing whether they are really cured or no is required. But don't wait. Respiratory symptoms, urgent oncology evaluation is important, and then only the adequate outcome is expected. And it is a multidisciplinary team, that is the oncologist, infectious disease, respiratory specialist. They all need to collaborate for the particular patient. We discuss a very common case. This is 45-year-old patient and active chemotherapy for lymphoma. He has got fever, he has got the cough and also dyspnea. What we note that WBC is too low, and chest has got the bilateral infiltrate suggestive of pneumonia. When we do the multiplex PCR, it is RSV positive. So what we should give? The answer is simple, Ribavarin. And since he is dyspneic, we have to add immunoglobulins. So these are the one of the case which we recently treated adequately. So what is important? Identify, treat, isolate and follow. So these are the ones we have to follow. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.